Question: how does one man assert power over another? Obedience is not enough. Power is inflicting pain and humiliation, otherwise you cannot be sure. Power is tearing human minds apart and putting them together again in new shapes of your own choosing. Power is not a means, it is an end. All competing pleasures we will destroy. If you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Ha! I bet you thought there was more intros coming. No, that's it. How the hell is everyone doing? It's Friday. It's Miller time. It's whatever time you want. It is your time to have some fun and to listen to Kevin and I make jokes and try to educate you. Kevin was late. He didn't show up until after I had already gone live. So I'm punishing him for a few seconds in the back room because he's a bad boy. But Mallory is here and she says that her New Year's resolution is to help all of her friends look skinnier. So she's going to gain 10 pounds. Tom is here and I'm here and Homicidal Maniac is here and Addie is here. So hello. And, spread the word. I mean, I shared it out. I shared out the link earlier, but if you guys want to share it out, go share it out. Go tweet it. We are here with some stuff for information for your brain holes. But yeah, I'll let Kevin in now. Kevin, you look a little bit like Uncle Fester tonight.
Brain holes.
Brain holes.
This fucking chair. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I was going to say, check your microphone. You sound real quiet.
Good evening, sir.
Mucho más mejor.
¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, gracias.
That's all I know, since we're talking about ass. There. And caffeination and hydration are the same. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you know. Who needs better glasses? I need better glasses. Look, Gerlitz is here. Do you see that, Gerlitz?
Now you've done it.
Gerlitz comes in, says happy birthday and all that stuff. He's calling you a crazy kid.
That's right.
Because I'm obviously not a kid anymore.
That's right.
But you're such a kid. You don't even have any hair yet. You haven't even grown any hair yet.
I know, but the bad thing about that is that it gets cold. So there.
I'm wearing a hat too to cover up all the silver.
Yeah, I don't have any silver.
Mm.
You got a little in my beard.
Well, you don't even have a beard. What does it say? Look, I even got silver here. Look.
Yeah. There is a little bit of resemblance.
Today's a scruffy day too. I didn't even bother to make myself look pretty for you guys tonight.
Well, I've noticed that you have in the past.
I didn't even bother to make myself pretty.
Oh my god.
Purdy.
What are you
doing? Working. Nothing crazy. Collecting information and links and stuff to share, and trying to stay above the drama-ness. So there will be no drama-ness. There will be no drama-ness and none of that nonsense here tonight. We're here to make fun of our enemies.
I'm having a drama-nation.
Not to drag each other into mud. We're not doing that. We're not doing that here. I do have to make an announcement, Kevin.
All right.
I'm not going to even bother to get a sponsor for next year. I'm just going to minimize our expenses. So I'm no longer going to be paying for the hosting of the podcast, which cost me $700-800 a year. Not doing that anymore. We're going to cut our expenses. Our wonderful friends at Five Ponds, they're not going to sponsor us this year. And I'm not a salesperson, so I'm not even going to try to go out and shake the trees and scam some friends out of some money. To tell you the truth, I mean, our YouTube show, we get, in a week's time, a couple hundred views. I don't know that any company is actually going to get a whole lot of benefit out of it. I'm just for my enjoyment and your enjoyment, I will pay the resulting fees for everything else that we have to do out of my own pocket, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. So we'll just minimize stuff. We'll figure out a way to your website is paid for until something, right?
No,
we'll figure out something for that, but
it's good.
We don't,
links still work. It's fine.
Yeah. So we're, for us and for our friends that are here every week, we don't have 1,000 subscribers, so we're not monetized on YouTube or anything like that. So it's just going to be what it is. What we can continue to do on our own, we're going to do. No worries. We're still going to be here. We just might have to trim the fat. I already offered to give Mallory 10 pounds earlier because she was looking for donations. So I do have plenty of that to give. Jeffrey Zamora is here. Hi, everyone, and Happy New Year from Jeffrey Zamora.
Mr. Gordon's already fell asleep.
I have to think, though, this picture that Jeffrey has on his YouTube icon, that guy looks pretty buff. I don't know if that's actually Jeffrey or not. I
don't know. I wouldn't want to make him mad.
Jeff doesn't look like that to me when we've had him on the show. He doesn't look that buff to me. So I'm just saying he may be trying to pull one over on us. So you did see that there was a plethora of links in our little link thing. So
I did see
there's plenty of stuff for us to talk about. Some of them are quite entertaining. They're the what the hell? Okay, except I have to accept cookies. My head just came undone. My head my head is so big that
you got a hole in your head.
The hat just unpopped itself. Let's see.
You got a hole in the middle of it.
There's not a hole in the middle of my hat.
There is. It's a star. It's shaped like a star.
Oh, well. See, it did it again. It did it again.
It's because your brain's growing? I can't imagine.
It could be. It could be. Maybe I have to. Maybe it's this. I'm gonna have to talk to. Oh no, that's better. Yeah.
There you go.
So my brain is expanding. My consciousness is expanding. So
Yeah.
you know this. We had this thing. A couple years ago that really did put a hurting on the vape industry.
Yeah.
And you and I, and Fig at the time, this was a while ago, but you and I and Fig were able to predict this was happening because we stole the information from a website called Leafy about this thing called Evali. So this week in the annals of the American Thoracic Society,
that's both ends.
They open sourced. This is an open, so it's like I don't have to. It's unlocked, Kevin. You see this? We can actually read this. Oh, did you see Jeffrey? He says at that time I was hitting the gym pretty hard. Yeah. Okay. So this says e-cigarette or vaping product use associated lung injury epidemic, pathogenesis, management, and future directions, an official American Thoracic Society workshop report.
Sounds important.
Yes, you can see. Look at all these names. There's Benowitz. We know Benowitz, and
I've heard of McGraw.
Gonowitz is in here.
Lee, I heard of.
Yeah, some of these people.
I think
are some of the common names. Some of the common names in our group of. So it says you may print one copy of this document at no charge.
Oh, I'm gonna print two just to.
I'm not printing anything. How about that? And I am definitely not stealing credit. See, I am showing ATS journals. I have put the link for this so in the show notes, so you guys can steal it yourselves if you want. You can each make one copy. So we're breaking the rules because if the 10 or 12 people that are in here all print out a copy, we've broken the rules. You know how we are. We like to break rules. But it says here, e-cigarette or vaping product use associated lung injury, E-Valley, is a severe pulmonary illness associated with the use of electronic cigarettes or vaping products that was officially identified and named in 2019. The American Thoracic Society workshop was convened in 2021 after there had not been a single case in like 2 years to identify and prioritize research and regulatory needs to adequately respond to the E-Valley outbreak and to prevent similar instances of diseases associated with e-cigarette or vaping product use.
I'm glad they prioritized it.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a priority.
2 years later.
That, after we already announced to the world and screamed from the top of the hilltops that it wasn't nicotine vaping and it was not e-cigarettes, that it was cannabis, illegal cannabis cartridges laced with vitamin E acetate. Anyway, it says here, an interdisciplinary group of 26 experts in adult and pediatric clinical care, public health, regulatory oversight, and toxicology were intervened for the workshop. Four major topics were examined. 1, the public health and regulatory response to E-Valley. 2, E-Valley clinical care. 3, mechanisms contributing to E-Valley. And 4, needed actions to address the health effects of E-Valley. Jeffrey says, like Leafy said in 2019. We said it also in 2019.
I think we said it before they said it.
Actually,
no.
We said it in 2018 when Leafy originally said it, before the first death. We actually broke down the timeline.
Yeah.
We went through all the old show notes. We found the proof that we had covered it. Plus, Kevin found the tweet chain with the Surgeon General and the heads of multiple state departments of health, where they were warned well in advance of the first fatality, and they did nothing.
Before
we have all that information. Yes,
I think I found that after Leafly, but it was before Leafly's.
Yes, it was.
Announcement.
So Leafy,
right. Yeah.
Leafy published. See, luckily we do our show Friday nights because a lot of big stuff breaks Friday afternoon. So in the news cycle, if you pay attention to our show, we are usually the first of the vape media people to discuss and cover certain things because they usually release that information on Friday. We do the show on Friday. So Leafy released their story about honeycut and vitamin E acetate. And that night after they published, we covered the article that they produced. So I'm not saying that we broke the news. They broke the news. We just megaphoned it and hopefully somebody would listen. So they published before the first fatality, before the first case was announced. They said, look, this is a problem. Don't buy this product. Don't use this product. And that they announced to the world before us, a few hours before us, and then we copied their shit and just read it out loud.
We're paying attention, you bastards.
So yeah, oral presentations. Now, make sure that you didn't think something else when I said oral, Kevin.
Oral, throat.
Well, it is in the annals.
I'm just saying.
It is in the annals up here. It says annals of the American Thoracic Society right there.
The annals.
Okay. Oral presentations, not oral sex or oral anything else, Kevin. Oral presentations and group, again, discussions, not sex, Kevin.
Yeah.
I know normally when you hear oral or group, you're thinking of something other than this, but were the primary modes used to identify top priorities for addressing EVALI. Initiatives including the National EVALI Case Registry and Biorepository and Integrated Electronic Medical Record Coding System, the U.S. FDA Regulation Enforcement of Nicotine E-Cigarette Standards, Regulatory Authority over non-tobacco derived e-cigarettes, training in evaluating exogenous exposures, prospective clinical studies, standardized clinical follow-up assessments, ability to more readily study the effects of cannabinoid e-cigarettes. Boom. So you go all the way down here, Kevin.
Yeah.
And they say that they first they do something good. They bring up cannabinoids.
Yeah.
But then they royally fuck up by saying e-cigarettes. You see that?
This is a lot.
So there's no such thing as a cannabinoid.
Lied.
There's no such thing as a cannabinoid e-cigarette, Kevin.
I don't think there is.
No. There's we cannot.
What?
I see the grumpy old lady is in the chat room.
It's cranky. All this is a bunch of words.
Yeah, I'm so uncomfortable saying it, Kevin. I can't say it properly. I always
cranky old broad. Hashtag.
I can't do broad. I can't.
She's going to be checking in on us.
See, Cerny, her attention was piqued when we started talking about oral. Yeah,
a lot of words to say they've lied.
So she says it. Did you see that Skip says that she'll be pooping in and out? Did you see that?
With a capital C. Look at that.
Okay, Kim. Yes, cannabinoid, which they get a gold star after going through all of this. They finally use the word cannabinoid, but then they throw in e-cigarette, which is not correct. And research to identify biomarkers of exposure and disease were identified as critical needs. These initiatives, you know what was critical, Kevin? When I asked the Surgeon general. Why were we not substance abusing these victims? These
I was going to say diagnosing immediately upon arrival.
Well, that too.
You think, you stupid fucking Jerry bastard?
Yeah, well, and then obviously he forgot that he had. Do you remember that though? He tweeted like a whole list of things. He tweeted that the health departments needed to send him any product samples that they collected.
Oh yeah, because he wanted to use them. So here's what I think. How are you diagnosing something in your keyboard doctoring from your fucking keyboard Washington area? Fuck off.
So, I mean, again, there's, I don't know. I mean, they had a conference. They brought all these people in, Kevin, these experts. They can't even use the right verbiage.
No.
To talk about an epidemic that hasn't had a single case in 2 years.
Yeah. Well, it's prioritized, Patrick. Come on. They've taken note of it, and they want to go as fast as they can go to get this done.
Yeah. So you did notice, though, that like 2 weeks ago that it was quietly announced that FDA it completely and totally intends on regulating CBDs and all other
they've already got a jar of
cannabis derivatives. You see that? You remember that? And we told everybody that was going to happen, and they're like, "No, that's never going to happen." Isn't
that what you said? They own the patent to all.
Oh yes,
that?
No. The federal government owns the patent to all cannabis extracts, all cannabis. And since they own those patents, they also hold the keys to any research that is done into those. You have to have federal permission, you have to have permission from the federal government to do research into a naturally occurring compound because they hold the patents.
I tell you, in the 80s, I did a lot of research.
I did some research.
Can't help it.
I did some experiments, but I just found that bourbon was my thing,
Yeah. You went on your path and I went on mine.
I didn't really get much
and
out
I
of
still
it.
like you, despite that. It's fine. Despite.
Yes, I chose the poison, the Grim Green poison bourbon.
Poison bourbon. Oh, nice, Ernie.
I actually do love Grim Green. I just like to mess with because he won't come on the show. He
poking the green.
I stopped inviting him. I invited him like 100 times.
Poking the cranky old.
He doesn't love you. I'm just saying. Apparently
I don't know if he knows who I am.
No, I'm talking about the follow. He probably does because he retweets you all the time. The people that watch this show. He doesn't like.
He probably retweets some dumbass. He probably doesn't know who I am.
He never retweets me, but he does like my tweets.
We've discussed this.
Yes. So anyhow, okay. So it says here, these initiatives will require substantial federal investment as well as changes to regulatory policy. Overall, the workshop identified the need to address the root causes of E-Valley to prevent future outbreaks, but they won't admit what the actual cause was, Kevin.
You want me to give you the quick synopsis?
This is here.
Here's a bunch of
Here, no, I got it. I had my mouse on the wrong monitor.
What do you mean you need money? How do you need money? We already know what it is.
Well, we know what it is.
Well, they don't.
They will never. Yes, the need to address the root causes of E-Valley. Well, we've already addressed it. So we've already addressed it. We know what caused it, and oddly enough, Kevin,
send more money.
Oddly enough,
send more money.
It suddenly disappeared because we pointed out to the users of those products. Leafy pointed out to the users of those products. I think even High Times did an article after a while, pointing out the cause of this problem, and suddenly it stopped because the people that were making those products figured out, oh shit, we better find something else to do with our black market THC cartridges.
That's right. There were arrests.
Well, yes, there was that too. Yes, but did you see Fig?
We got Dave and Cranky Old Broad and Fig and Siri.
Yeah.
And, oh my!
Fig showed up. He's down there. But so Fig was on the show
he was there
when we did the scoop of the year that we stole from Leafy. The scoop of the year and covered the cause of E Valley before the first fatality. So here we are 2 years later, not a single, almost 2.5, over 2.5 years later, not a single case of E Valley in the last 2 years.
Well, except in Australia suddenly for some reason.
Somehow there was one mysterious case of E Valley that probably was, something else completely.
You know the video where the dog just keeps going boing, boing, boing? That's what Australia is. Oh, we found another one. Oh, we found another one.
You got a respiratory infection and you vape? Oh, it's E Valley.
Me too.
It's E Valley.
Fig, how's your hair? Because, I'm concerned.
Let's scroll down here. Let's see. We want to go to toxic chemicals and constituents of e-cigarettes. This is the part where is it at? We go here. Let's go to this. We want to go to what section was that? What section was that? Contents, potential mechanisms. Yeah, potential mechanisms. That's what we want to do. We want to go down here to this.
I'm in awe of how they can make sure that they want to get funding for something they've already concluded.
All right. Let's read this. It says individuals with E Valley reported using both nicotine e-cigarettes and cannabinoid e-cigarettes. That's no. Major ingredients in nicotine e-cigarettes include VG and PG, and they may contain 1 to 4% flavoring chemicals and 0 to 10% nicotine.
Irrelevant.
No, that's
irrelevant. No,
0 to 10%.
Well, what that would be what, 1,000 milligram?
No, that would be 100 milligrams.
Or 100 milligrams. Okay.
Well, yeah, something like that. Anyway, user topography varies greatly, and depending on flow rate and puff duration, between 5 and 40 milligrams per puff of e-liquid may be inhaled. In cannabinoid e-cigarettes, the most common active ingredient is delta-9 THC, can also be the most abundant ingredient, although other solvents, notably MCT oil, VEA, terpenes, triethyl citrate, etc., and other cannabinoids, CBD, delta-8, are known to be present in varying concentrations. Cannabinoid e-cigarettes can deliver up to 5 milligrams of delta-9 THC per puff, depending on composition, applied power. In addition to primary constituents of e-cigarettes, it is well understood that the heat applied to the aerosolization, combined with the instability of some chemical constituents, can result in degradation. Products that potentially contribute to underlying pathogenesis, including metals, carbonyls, and other organic compounds as described below. So VEA, which is vitamin E acetate.
They're lying within this.
Is a highly lipophilic synthetic form of vitamin E that was first developed to increase compound stability compared with its natural form, although safely and commonly used in food and cosmetic industry. VEA has been suspected as a primary chemical responsible for E Valley outbreaks. At least they're not. At least they're being truthful there. VEA was initially identified in 23 of 38 cannabinoid e-cigarettes collected from patients with E Valley in New York during the summer of 2019, as well as 24 of 46 e-cigarettes used by patients with E Valley in Minnesota during the summer and fall of 2019. In addition, VEA was found in BAL fluid from 48 of 51 hospitalized across 16 states during the summer, blah, blah, blah. Finally, in an animal model, aerosolized VEA was found to increase the number of leukocytes neutrophils and inflammatory cytokines in BAL, as well as increased number of lipid-laden macrophages. The animal model findings are generally consistent with clinical observations with E-Valley. So again, now they're going to go down here and you're going to see all sorts of other stuff about acrolein. Now, acrolein, I'm not going to lie, acrolein does off gas from vegetable glycerin, but at like 500 plus degrees.
Yeah.
Now, nobody
and formaldehyde
at 500 plus degrees.
Like
you're fucking up highly.
You'd burn your hand.
Now, again, acetaldehyde and formaldehyde. Obviously, we've already covered formaldehyde. Your body produces formaldehyde in your exhalations and urine. Your body is literally a formaldehyde factory. Like your body creates formaldehyde. So, in measurable amounts, not like so. You see this when you see the word formaldehyde, it's used to scare you because Kevin, they use formaldehyde to preserve dead people.
There's formaldehyde in your wood, not that wood. Well, Ed's wood probably.
Well, he has to take medicine, so. But I just bring that up because guess what, Kevin? That's only the first of two.
There's more.
Two big announcements about research into E-Valley this week. That's just the first one. We'll talk about the second one later on. But anywho,
look. See, the common temperature for cannabis is 410, which I don't know how hot this thing is.
No. Do they use VG in cannabis vapes though, Kevin, or a fig? I don't know the chemistry of cannabis, but it is an off gas of VG. So, yeah, it's over 500 degrees, and I don't think anybody's vaping at 500 degrees. I could be wrong, but everybody that I know, yeah. So I don't think in the case of cannabis vaping that acrolein is a danger because it's an off gasser of VG, and it is a realistic, something that you need to look at because acrolein is highly toxic. But again, at really high temperatures, like I think it was
Tom. No murder charges. No murder charges that we know of for anybody at the FDA or CDC. None.
No. So you sent me the link to a very important document.
What?
Which I thought was kind of funny, Kevin. I didn't realize, but this. You see this? You see this?
You didn't realize it?
I didn't realize that until I just opened this.
I have a love-hate relationship with them, but
that SRNT published a document. It says here, the Compassion Club, a new proposal for transformation of tobacco retail. And look, our very good friend Skip. You see, it says
oh shit,
Kim
she's
Murray.
back.
It says Kim Murray right here.
Who is this Kim?
No. I mean, I wonder, does Skip actually know Kim? Because they do have the same last name.
She should talk to Clovis and see about. Never mind.
So this says the Compassion Club. This is, and by the way, this manuscript has been accepted by the SRNT.
Can you imagine a consumer? Listen to this. A consumer is published here. This is crazy.
Somebody that we know, that we've had on the show.
Who probably doesn't like us much, but that's okay.
No, she doesn't like me because I call her Kim.
That's true.
My favorite aunt, her name is Kim. Yeah. Anyway, it says here, what introduction? We're going to read this in its entirety. Because our very good friend Kim helped write this. So it says here, abstract, introduction. One major assumption in the tobacco industry, the current tobacco industry, is the distribution of tobacco products through a system of commercial for-profit retail. However, other models of distribution that do not rely on this mechanism exist. So, methods. In this review, we examine the potential of a nonprofit compassion club model. That's what we have here, Kevin. A compassion club. Because, for example, I'm actually beta testing a new tobacco. I already sent 3 of my samples out to my friends who have tested those, but I have a new unlabeled, off-label recipe right here.
Are you manufacturing and distributing products illegally?
No. I'm not. No, because I'm not taking any money. But I could possibly be talked into making a sample of this recipe for my friends to test and tell me what they think.
Is it tobacco flavor?
Only? It is a tobacco flavor. It is a tobacco thing. Tobacco and
like
booze.
Cigar-y and
no, it's tobacco and booze, Kevin.
Yeah, no.
All of my recipes are some sort of tobacco and booze because I'm an alcoholic and I like
not
tobacco.
For me.
Anyway, so that would be compassion. See, one of my friends in the chat room would be like, "Hey, I will be compassionate and test out your thing and tell you what I think about it." See, that would be compassion.
And another one would #be kind.
Oh, that is also a thing.
That cranky lady.
I'm not very good at it, but other people are.
No, I'm not either. I struggle.
So anyway, let's go back to this. In this review, we examine the potential of a nonprofit compassion club model and discuss how the current existence of independent vape stores might provide the infrastructure to allow the transformation of the tobacco distribution. I don't like that sentence. To allow the transformation of the tobacco distribution.
Well,
I don't care for that word. But anyway, it says here, results. Compassion clubs exist internationally with different levels of regulation and legality and have generally been focused on in the distribution of illegal drugs like, safe injection sites, people handing out, needles, clean needles and hygienic supplies to IV drug users on the street. There are groups that do things like that. They also hand out condoms and hygienic supplies for street kids. Those, I'm assuming, would be considered compassion clubs type things. That the legality, the regulation and legality. They provide access to drugs for existing users, limit access to novices, limit negative impacts from illicit markets, and provide social support focused on reducing harms associated with drug use. So the conclusions: with decreasing prevalence of tobacco use in many countries and growing interest in a tobacco endgame, a compassion, I have this alliteration, the Compassion Club, CC. The Compassion Club model of distribution could help transition tobacco away from the model of commercial, widely available distribution. More work is needed to develop the regulations and policies that might guide a Compassion Club model. Let's see, implications. Compassion Clubs are a model for the distribution of psychoactive substances that are focused on harm reduction and social support rather than profit. There has been little discussion about the possibility that this promising model could be applied to help transform the tobacco industry. Many independent vape stores already demonstrate aspects of Compassion Club model that could be used to support a transition.
Accepted.
So it has been accepted, and it is, a proposal. A proposal.
There's more to that, but there's we could do speakeasies, etc. But
well, yeah, I mean,
this would aim at everybody.
Safe injection sites. I'm a big fan of like safe supply. That's something that that's very important. That's
with anything.
We don't advocate for those products on this show, but we are compassionate towards the users of those products, and we are also very keyed in to helping in any way we can with those things. But reading that shirt or reading that article made me think of one of the shirts that I have on our store, Kevin, that nobody has bought one from recently.
I don't like it. I don't like you. Or...
No, that one's gone. I actually pulled that shirt down. That was a limited edition model. I could bring it back for like specials, but the shirt that I am currently wearing, the Scallywag tee.
Oh yes.
There's the Scallywag tee, but on the back of the tee, I have these quotes all from H.L. Mencken, who is one of my favorite writer / philosopher / curmudgeon-y old guy, and I like the Puritanism is the haunting fear that someone somewhere may be happy. So that one's important.
There's a lot of that.
But the most dangerous man to any government is the man who is able to think things out without regard to the prevailing superstitions and taboos. Almost inevitably, he comes to the conclusion that the government he lives under is dishonest, insane, and intolerable.
Near.
Yep. But just for you guys, I'm going to copy and paste the link to the T-shirt store because I haven't really been promoting the T-shirts in a while. I haven't even added a new design in a while, which, there for a while I was kicking ass and putting new designs up all the time, but I haven't done that. But also, just the whole idea that we are the pirate army, and we have always talked about in the fact that if when everything, if something bad were to happen, that we were always going to be here to help smokers. I think we are the model of the Compassion Club, Kevin.
And Skip said it will be published later this year in a special issue. The issue will be
on SRNT. Are they going to allow you to come to go speak at a conference?
Oh, he's so brave. Right there. That's what she's looking at you like, right there.
I'm still trying to figure out where you have Uncle Fester on the screen.
That's Aleister Crowley.
Mr. Crowley.
Look, right there. Right there. Crowley. I just thought there was a resemblance. I don't know.
So this week, Kevin, it was announced that an article here that tied vaping. This is a cancer prevalence in e-cigarette users, a retrospective cross-sectional NHANES study. You see right here across the front of this? Look at that.
Sorry.
Retracted.
Well, that's the other word for bullshit, but yeah.
Retracted. So our friends at Reason published a story this week talking about the retraction of that particular story. This is from our friend Jacob Saloom, who has been kicking ass and taking names recently. He's been writing tons and tons and tons of great articles. I don't want to. I want it for free. That libertarian. I mean, this is a libertarian magazine. Damn straight, I want my free libertarian stuff. I'm gonna have to talk to my friend that works for Reason and get me I want a free membership here. So in any way, it says here, a medical journal retracts a 2022 study that linked vaping to cancer. The obvious problems with the article reflect a broader pattern that suggests a peer-reviewed bias against e-cigarettes.
No.
You don't.
How did that happen? I've been telling you that for fucking 9 years.
I mean, hell, we are extremely good friends with the section editor for the harm reduction section of the journal for tobacco control. And she was on this show over a year and a half ago saying that they had a difficulty finding people that would peer review harm reduction studies, tobacco harm reduction studies.
Yeah.
Dr. Mara Wiglever on this show said that like a year and a half ago, probably
crazy
2 or 3 appearances ago.
You think that would be impossible to say? I can't even imagine that you could be completing that sentence that way.
What section? What sentence? The sentence that they have trouble finding people that will agree to do
correct
review for yes, because they don't want to admit that tobacco harm reduction exists, Kevin.
Exists. Well,
so the World Journal of Oncology recently retracted a February 2022 article claiming that nicotine vapors face about the same cancer risk as cigarette smokers. After publication of this article, the editors explained, concerns have been raised regarding the article's methodology, source data processing, including statistical analysis, and reliability of conclusions, because the authors failed to provide justified explanations and evidence for the inquiries. Subsequently, this article has been retracted at the request of the editor-in-chief. Some of the concern raised by this article are similar to the problems with other studies that have linked vaping to smoking-related diseases. Most conspicuously, the study failed to address the question of whether diagnoses were made before or after people started vaping, a minimum requirement for inferring causation. In 2020, the same problem led to the retraction of a Journal of the American Heart Association article that reported an association between vaping and heart attacks. Oh, we know all about that one, Kevin.
Right?
Yeah, this guy right. Where is he at? There he is.
To confuse the public about science, to confuse scientists about science. What?
See, that guy had to, and he actually still refuses to acknowledge that he did something wrong.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, the World Journal of Oncology. David who? What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, David?
Mr. Gorlitz.
He's gone.
I know. I'm looking for a quote.
Oh. So anyway, the World Journal of Oncology article, which was attributed to no fewer than 13 researchers at institutions such as the University of Missouri, Temple University Hospital, the Mayo Clinic, the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, has other obvious problems that should have been apparent before publication. It features enough inconsistencies, writing errors, non sequiturs, and failures of reasoning to make you wonder whether peer reviewers and editors actually read it, let alone carefully evaluated its strengths and weaknesses. As critics have noted, the publication of such studies suggests that the peer review process is biased against favoring articles that highlight its potential hazards, even when the science underlying them is weak. In an email, Brad Rodew, our very good friend, the University of Louisville professor of medicine, who has been studying tobacco harm reduction for decades, says the grossly flawed study of vaping and cancer raises a troubling question. How could it get through peer review?
Well, easily.
Well, money talks, bullshit walks, buddy. In the retracted study, University of Illinois internist Anusha Chidharla and her 12 co-authors analyzed data from the National Health and Nutritional Examination Survey. The sample included 154,856 respondents surveyed from 2015 through 2018, of whom 5% reported that they had ever used e-cigarettes. 31.4% said that they were current smokers, and 63.6% said that they had not smoked and had never used an e-cigarette. The survey also asked whether participants had ever been diagnosed with cancer. Crucially, the study does not include information on when the e-cigarette users began vaping, but the authors note that e-cigarettes were used as a strategy to quit smoking in most cancer respondents, which suggests that their diagnosis generally preceded their e-cigarette use. If so, this would be consistent with what Rodu and the University of Louisville research economist Nantaporn, I every time I see this name and I say it, I know Plurfanswat, and I know that's not right, but I feel really off. Plurfanswat. Yeah, I mean that's I mean, if you do it phonetically, that's what it has to be. Found when they analyzed data on other smoking-related diseases from the Population Assessment Tobacco Health Survey, which includes information on the timing of both diagnosis and e-cigarette use.
You'd think you'd ask the question, but it's all in the wording. Always in the wording. So
anyway, Chidharla et al., that's all the other 13 people, classified participants as e-cigarette users if they had ever vaped and were not current smokers. So if they vaped once, they're, again, a current user. The researchers did not take into account whether the respondents in that group had a history of smoking. Obviously, most, not all, but most people that use e-cigarettes are prior smokers. And we know it takes about 10 years for any of that smoking damage to sort of go away. And I don't believe, even though Charlie says it does, I don't believe all of it goes away. Anyway, probably not. Researchers did not take into account whether the respondents in that group had a history of smoking, which is obviously problematic when you're trying to distinguish between correlation and causation. Kevin's two favorite words.
Isn't that the point? You know, in let's see, Jeremy's 25 years ago, I had hernia surgery and I smoked, and now I vape. So vaping probably causes hernias, but I don't know that for sure. I'd have to have more studies, and money is needed to determine.
Well, let's do this study, Kevin. Let's put together a grant proposal.
All right.
And find out if vaping leads to alcohol use.
All right.
Okay. And we will do our examinations and our scientific research every Friday night.
Every Friday. All right.
Right here.
We're going to be consistent. We're not going to be screwing around like, we'll do this every 6 years.
I mean, I've seen some studies that had as little as 8 to 10 people in their pool. We could easily use our audience as participants in the survey.
Sure.
I think we need about $10 million to do this research.
We'll give them a $6 gift card. Right.
We need to put together our proposal for a grant.
And a t-shirt.
And I'm sure if we give Brad $1 million of the 10 million grant, that he'll sign off and put his name on it.
I bet he would.
Because we need a PhD to, to make it look more respectable. So anyway, the authors reclassified former smokers as non-smokers, thereby obscuring the effects of former, Rodu notes. That also raised the cancers in their reference group, which was inappropriate. Keeping those points in mind, what did the researchers find? They seemed confused about that. According to the abstract, the e-cigarette users had lower prevalence of cancer compared to cigarette smokers, 2.3% versus 16.8%. That is consistent with the numbers reported in Table 2, but according to the results section of the article, respondents with cancer had a lower prevalence of e-cigarette use compared to traditional smoking. So do you see how they changed the wording there?
It's all in the wording.
Yeah. The discussion section reiterates that cancer respondents had a lower prevalence of e-cigarette use than traditional smoking. All of these passages cite exactly the same numbers, but they are talking about two different things: prevalence of cancer among e-cigarette users and smokers. The study's secondary aim versus prevalence of e-cigarette use and smoking among people diagnosed with cancer. The study's primary aim. I have made a serious attempt, Rudy said, but I cannot figure out how the author switched from cancer prevalence among e-cigarette users to e-cig prevalence among participants with cancer.
And when Dr. Rodu says he made a serious attempt, I believe him.
He at least tried to do some logic there, you know. But they changed the purpose of their experiment.
Well, of course.
Mid race, like you can't change the horse mid race.
Let me explain something to you, Zippy. Have you stopped smoking with an e-cigarette? Well, I don't like that either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you how you.
Well, no, Kevin, because I can't smoke with an e-cigarette, so I can't stop smoking with an e-cigarette.
Because it looks like smoking and it aggravates me. So now you're going to get cancer. You fucking bastards.
So assuming the version of the results presented in the abstract in Table 2 is the correct one, 2.3% of e-cigarette users reported cancer diagnosis, compared to 16.8% of current smokers and 9.5% of the non-smokers. So people that don't smoke, according to their results, had a higher chance of getting cancer than people that vape. You see that? 2.3%, blah, 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 blah. But when the researchers ran a regression analysis that included several demographic variables and comorbidities, including other diagnoses and use of other drugs, they calculated that the e-cigarette users had 2.2 times higher risk and traditional smokers had 1.96 times the higher risk of having cancer compared to non-smokers. In other words, the prevalence of cancer among e-cigarette users was about 1/4 the prevalence among non-smokers and 1/7 the prevalence among current smokers. But after the regression analysis, the risk of e-cigarette users was about the same as the risk for smokers, roughly twice. So they used a regression model. They looked at demographics and comorbidities. They made a pie chart and they, a Venn diagram.
Pie. So this is like a double entendre, isn't it? The tobacco control math and wording, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Since the retraction mentions concerns about source data processing, including statistical analysis, we can surmise that the editors, after taking a closer look at the study, questioned that calculation. In any event, the lack of information about the timing of e-cigarette use makes it impossible to draw causal conclusions from whatever correlations these survey data do support. Or, as Chidarla et al. Put it, causal or temporal association could not be established. Despite that concession, the author's conclusion assumes a risk they have not proven. Our study found e-cigarette users had an early age of cancer onset as well as higher odds of having cancer compared to non-smokers, they write. Prospective studies should be planned to mitigate the risk. Give us more money, is what that says.
Yes.
In light of the study's fundamental weaknesses, what value would it have had even... Now, here's my question. If these guys wrote this study, released it a year ago, it's been 11 plus months, right? How many grants did these guys get to do more study off of this publication? And have they already, like I said, gotten those grants to work on new things based on this work that is now retracted? Do they get their subsequent funding for their current research? Does that get pulled?
I don't know.
I mean, I would say, hey, I need to give you this money back because I used the weight of this study that got published everywhere for my next research project. And, we did a bad job. I don't believe that they're going to do that. In light of the study's fundamental weaknesses, what value would it have had, even if the source data processing included statistical analysis had been sound? Despite the limitations, the authors say, to our knowledge, this is the first large population-based study to find a potential association between e-cigarette use and cancer in humans. So there's that. I don't actually think that that's the truth. I think there have been other studies into vaping and cancer before. Matter of fact, I think we could probably find one where they gave mice some skin cancer. But anyway, Stanton Glanz, the American Legacy Foundation Distinguished Professor of Tobacco Control at the University of California, San Francisco, thought that that was good enough. In a blog post, he hailed the first epidemiological evidence linking e-cigarettes to cancer in people. Glantz, who co-authored the Retracted Journal of American Heart Association article alleging a connection between vaping and heart attack, said Chadarla's study provided direct evidence that people who use e-cigarettes are at an increased risk of some cancers. He added that e-cigarette use was associated with higher risk of some cancers than smoking cigarettes, including cervical cancer. Dude, seriously, I have to ask Kevin, my female vapors, please tell me how you're getting your vape into the cervical region. How are you making that happen? Anyway, leukemia, skin cancer, skin and other thyroid cancers. For those of all of those like details, like those are his, like that's his conclusion. He's the one that's making this, right? For those of us who are less eager to undermine the case for vaping as a harm reducing alternative to smoking, what would this study have meant if it had not been retracted? If you ignore the glaring methodological weaknesses, the study suggests that vapors and smokers face similar cancer risks. Yet the author noted that vaporized nicotine emissions from e-cigarettes contain carcinogens generally in lower concentrations with lower cancer potencies, less than 1%. In other words, the carcinogenic potency of e-cigarette aerosol is more than 99% lower than the carcinogenic potency of cigarette smoke. The researchers add that mean lifetime cancer risk decline from tobacco smoking to e-cigarettes. Chadarla et al. Say the exponential increase in the use of e-cigarettes due to their widespread promotion as safer alternatives to traditional smoking is a dangerous threat and a public health risk, Kevin. They also describe e-cigarettes as a promising harm reduction tool. So how can they, in one sentence, say that is a dangerous threat and a public health risk, but then they also describe e-cigarettes as a promising harm reduction tool?
Do you know why? I think I figured this out with the Heart Association and a few others, not Lung. Lung has never done it. They want it on record that they've said it, but they want you to have to dig and dig and dig, which is part of the reason Dr. Gardner has all those statements. There are statements, but they're buried.
Yeah, I'm going to skip a couple paragraphs here. So it says here, the authors sometimes seem desperate to obscure the point. The recent outbreak of e-cigarette vaping associated lung injury in the United States can suggest caution. They write, EVALI is primarily attributed to vitamin E acetate in cannabis oils distributed through illicit channels. What does that have to do with the risk posed to legally distributed nicotine products? And the article is ostensibly discussing. So they actually admit right there in their own words that EVALI is caused by vitamin E acetate in cannabis oils. However, why are they even including that in their discussion about nicotine e-cigarettes?
Well, hits.
Yeah.
Narratives.
Yeah. So, again, the link to the rest of this, there's a couple more paragraphs, but essentially, they had to retract their article because their study because somebody pulled their pants down and said, "Hey, you're an idiot." Yeah. And you would think at this point, scientists would be eager to do research that good research on these products, because obviously you would think that they are interested in saving people's lives. No, it doesn't seem to be that way.
No,
not in the least bit. Not at all. What is this you're showing here?
Dr. Rodew and I in Columbus in 2018 or 19, I forget now, but he's one of my heroes. He really is. And for the David reference earlier, the people who are in the anti-smoking or anti-tobacco movement are so vindictive and hateful, they've made tobacco users feel like lepers, and that's not the answer to the problem. They said you can add in anything you want, even if it's a lie. Period. That was in the Victor share screen, by the way. Oh crap! Snowden tapes.
Victor hasn't been the Snowden. Oh, the
Gorlitz tapes rather through Mr. Snowden.
Yeah. So
even if it's a lie, Patrick,
these guys basically get a free pass on their science if it's anti-vaping science.
One of my absolute heroes, Skip. Oh my goodness. I don't like Patrick, and I really like Dr. Rodew. That's the scale. It's like all the way to the edge of the screen, from here to here. Very sweet guy.
I'm not here for your love, Kevin.
I know you aren't. And I've tried, but no.
I am definitely not going to let you love me. No.
Oh,
you're not my
published. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim got published.
Yeah, I saw it. We need to congratulate Kim
again. That is a rare thing, I would think.
Not just
I don't know.
Not just in some pro vaping, friend of vaping website, right. In an actual SRNT journal.
It's a consumer that stuns me that I don't know that happens like every day. I can't. How do you get? I mean, I've been quoted. And there's others that have been quoted, but
I know, Skip, that you're eager to take Kim's glory away, but it does say Kim right there. Don't be jealous.
It's her less cranky friend and sister.
It says right there. I can't help that. But you keep. She typed in all caps. Did you see that?
She's like incognito. I know she's mad at you. She don't like you.
Well, I can't change facts. It definitely says Kim right there.
When you take the meat and you rub it long enough, and you put
it definitely doesn't say Skip there. It says
it definitely says it.
What did? Oh, yeah, there it is. So who DeWine? This guy, Governor DeWine. You know who that is, Kevin?
Yeah, I do.
You know that guy? So he did something controversial this week. So I got a video piece. Let's do the video piece.
Is not in the public interest.
The clouds of sour green apple vapor will slowly start to dissipate.
You see that? Sour green apple.
Well, better than bubble gum, I guess.
Sour green
in
apple.
Columbus.
We put it on the big screen, and as soon as he said the word veto, we cheered.
Amanda Turner has been working to try to get flavored tobacco products banned in the city, and she was successful in December. But one day after the ban, House Republicans passed a bill to prevent any city or municipality from regulating smoking or vaping. Governor DeWine wasn't a fan of this.
When a local community wants to make the decision to ban these flavors to protect their children, we should applaud those decisions.
That guy looks kind of like a pinhead. I'm just saying.
He is a pinhead. No.
You ever see those old cartoons of the tortoise and the hare?
Yes.
Okay. I wait. Give me a second here.
No. He does do other things. All right. He allowed concealed carry to go on now without a license, which I do agree with. So within its own problems, there's problems with that, and we can debate it all night. You and I probably wouldn't, but it could be debated with training and things like that. That's important. Comma, why do I need a license? Anyway, this, on the other hand, is idiotic. And he's got his little white coat friends behind him to make himself look good, but not funny. This ain't funny. So Governor DeWine is admitting that the laws in the state of Ohio are ineffective, period. And adults cannot make their own choices. And I'm going to quote Michael Redfern, fuck that guy, period. That's all.
So look at this. So I mean, look at this guy. Look at the turtle. This is the tortoise from the Bugs Bunny cartoons, right? Now, if I look,
he says flavored products are meant to target.
I have to think that if you look at this guy in profile, look at the shape of his neck, how he's extending his forehead out, just like the turtle. I don't know. I'm getting this turtle vibe from him. But anyway, let's see what else goes on here.
He says flavored products are meant to target younger.
I think I know those guys. Killer Custard. Yeah. I know those guys.
Are meant to target younger users, and that's exactly what happened to OSU student Brandon Feldman.
I like fruitier ones more because it's a flavor.
He likes fruitier ones. I'm just saying.
Did they say college student? What?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go back. Let's see.
OSU student Brandon Feldman.
His name is Brandon.
Well,
and that's exactly what happened to OSU student Brandon Feldman.
Oh, this is your governor.
Yes.
Oh, no wonder. Okay.
I thought you'd make the connection with the carry concealed.
It's ass backwards. It's ass backwards, Ohio.
This college student above age. Now he's probably not because it's 21, but
no, he could be 18. He could be a freshman.
Well, he could be breaking.
And then
the law.
He's admitting to breaking the law. Yeah.
Right.
I like fruitier ones more because it's.
He keeps saying that he likes fruitier ones. I'm just saying.
A flavor. It's a more flavored vape.
He started vaping in high school.
Okay, so he admitted to vaping in high school, Kevin. If you would quit making sounds while
vape.
He started vaping in high school.
So he admitted to breaking the law. Let's arrest his scrawny ass right now.
You say you're addicted.
Yeah.
The student says people should know the risks since vape.
Is that the cool cucumber or no? That's regular menthol. Those cucumber ones were very popular.
They're
Labels
gone,
come
aren't
with
they?
warnings.
Yes.
But he says he understands that DeWine and Columbus.
Look at those big cab door ears too, Kevin. He looks like he could be your grandpa or something.
So you've got illicit products that illegally are being obtained by minors, and you're showing products that aren't even on the market anymore.
Yeah.
Double plus good.
Well, it's all stock video footage, Kevin.
Well, yeah.
Are just trying to curb the epidemic, even if it does come.
There's the word.
Yeah.
Let's go back. We heard the word.
Just trying to curb the epidemic, even if it does come at the expense of his taste buds and wallet.
I'm really gonna have to decide now. Do I want to go out of my way and spend more money, or am I gonna just stop and find something better to do?
Okay, so if it's so addictive and there's such an epidemic, he's just oh, well, I just need to make the decision if I'm going to spend some more money.
I imagine
Pornhub
will take your money, Zippy.
Municipalities will now have different rules, but the governor has an idea of how to make the law more uniform.
Have a statewide ban
Kevin,
there we go. There you
that's
go.
your fucking governor.
Of flavored cigarettes and flavored vaping.
The lawmakers are not able to override the governor's veto since this bill was from the previous General Assembly. At the State House, I'm Morgan Trow reporting.
The Ohio advocacy did a lot of work.
Yeah. OHVTA kicked ass, dude.
Oh my God. This is unfucking believable that this is even happening. So I commend Ohio VTA.
I'm embarrassed because the congressional offices across the street from the Capitol in the state capitol there is called the Rife Office Building. It's named after me.
Yeah. That's what the Dr. Rodu's photo with me was. That was during one of the well, I call it a mini rally because
I don't know how. I mean, I know that I'm really awesome, Kevin, but I still can't figure out why the Ohio legislators' office building is named after me. But
did you see Bruni sneaking in? He just sneaked in.
I did
and just
see him. He's late.
Chatting away.
Late. The old man is late.
OHVTA, and we've had James on.
More than once. I've seen him cry on multiple occasions too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, look at this. Look at you see Fig over there? You see what he said?
I'm working on it, Fig. I'm working on it.
It doesn't work.
I tried once to talk about his hair, and you know how that went. So
I know. Look! I'll even show you.
Look at that. It's like gray matter on top of gray matter.
Well, yeah. There's so much gray matter inside that it's coming out in the hair follicles. I think I have COVID. Maybe I need to take a week off work. What do you think, Kevin?
I think you should take 2 weeks.
I really think I'm dying over here. I should take a break.
You got the vids?
I have gone this whole time and not gotten the cooties once.
I went 2 fucking years. 2 fucking years. And then I got it.
I'm like the only person in my company that hasn't gotten it.
I think you're.
And I work with people that have the COVID, but I'm extra careful. I wear gloves. I wear a gown when we have to wear all that. I wear my glasses because I have to see. I wear a face shield and a mask, and I haven't.
You hide the ugly the best you can, right?
Huh?
You hide the ugly the best you can. Good.
Yes. I have had patients during this whole pandemic thing that have never seen my face because we're still required to wear the mask.
What is wrong with that? I applaud that.
I actually don't have a problem because that way, when I make a face, when some idiot says some retarded nonsense that just like they can't tell that I'm making fun of them behind the mask.
As long as you control your eye movement, you're fine. I learned that. Yeah.
Let's see. Can you tell that I'm giving you I'm making a face at you, Kevin?
I'm still worried about Fig's hair. I don't know.
Yeah. Why are you? Eventually, that hair's going to fall out.
No, it ain't.
Male pattern baldness will eventually hit Fig. I mean, I know he's a little older than me and a little younger
rag
than
on Fig like that.
But eventually, his hair's just going to fall out.
Well, I may as well just mention chocolate.
He's going to be a grandpa here in the next couple of years, and then the hair's going to come out. Then I'm telling
Fig.
you.
One way to alleviate that a little longer is just take him down to diaper aisle, show him the prices. Don't say nothing. Just
no.
Point at the prices.
No. Baby formula. Right now, baby formula is still crazy expensive.
That too.
Well, so, Kevin,
what?
I know this question. I know this question has been like running through your head for at least, I don't know, how long have you been vaping?
10 years, just about.
Okay, so this question has been going off in your head, been running through your head for at least 10 years. Are e-cigarettes a safe way to quit smoking?
Well, here's how I answer that in my head every day.
There's a video. Listen.
All right, do the video and then I'll tell you. I know you don't care.
Am I allowed?
Yeah.
Even higher, according to the latest research. MWin has more into.
Is there sound? Kevin?
What?
Anyone?
What?
When I played the video, was there sound?
Yes.
Okay. Healthy you.
Vaping was once considered a gateway to quit smoking, but is it a safe alternative or is it just another harmful vice? Research out of the American Heart Association shows that vaping may lead to the same harmful effects in the blood vessels that predispose us to heart attacks and strokes. The study compared chronic smokers and e-cigarette users and found that despite e-cigarette users being younger and having far fewer years of exposure, they...
Younger? Okay, we got to do this. In the chat room, everybody type your age. Everyone.
Are you getting
age.
enough of the sunshine vitamin?
No, I'm not.
And while this ad is going on, let's see. I mean, I don't think people that are vaping are necessarily younger than. I mean, I know that our demographic skews pretty old. I mean, Bruni alone brings the age up to like. You know, I mean,
for Figuroni, listen to me. That is nowhere near.
We actually know Fig's age, unless he lied to us like 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
In the American Heart Association was also
might even.
Yeah.
E-cigarette use or vaping may actually have the same harm as smoke. If you switch between both, the risk might be even higher, according to the latest research. M. Nguyen has more in today's Healthy You.
Vaping was once considered a gateway to quit smoking, but is it a safe alternative or is it just another harmful vice? Research out of the American Heart Association shows that vaping may lead to the same harmful effects in the blood vessels that predispose us to heart attacks and strokes. The study compared chronic smokers and found that despite e-cigarette users being younger and having far fewer years of exposure, they still had the same long-term effect. Researchers defined a chronic user of e-cigarettes as someone who uses more than 5 times a week, while a chronic smoker as someone who smokes 5 cigarettes a day. So even if you vape only a few times a week, you might be subject to the same risks as an everyday smoker. The mechanisms behind vessel damage, vaping. So if you swap between them, maybe in an attempt to cut back on cigarettes, you may be doubling up on damage.
You may be doubling up on damage, Kevin.
They can go fuck themselves. That's what I say.
The American Heart Association, though, Kevin, they're a respectable people, right?
Yeah. Well, I've also got their liner notes that were buried, I don't know, 19 paragraphs in. Here's a quick example of me in 2013. I've already got it. It's a cig-alike, and I come home and I'm like, e-cigarette forum, dangers, safe. I can't find nothing. Fuck it. It can't be no different than cigarettes, even if it's exactly the same. I like this, and then I did it. And I haven't stopped. And there you go.
Now, I know there are other behaviors that you did and then you never stopped, but or at least until you needed glasses. Until you
These are still readers. Smoker smokes less than 5 smokes a day. I don't. Memory. I have an uncle who can smoke 1 cigarette every 3, 6, 9 months. And he always has, and he always will. Give me a cigarette, Kevin. And I've never seen anybody do that except him. Other than that.
Oh, I mean, I know I know plenty of people that'll smoke a cigarette a day or a cigarette at the bar once a week or something like that. I know plenty of people that are like that.
Knew those people. We're the same
girls that would only smoke on at a bar or a couple of cigarettes on a Friday night to make themselves.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Fetching. No. I mean, people should feel free to do whatever the fuck they want to do, man. As long as it doesn't affect me. If Michael Redfern wants to go out to the corner and buy an 8-ball, that's up to Michael Redfern. That I have no problem with that.
What's Fig? What do you? What?
The cabbies even smoke in the shower. I have actually smoked in the shower.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of other projects while I was in the shower too. So that's how I broke my leg.
My time is my business. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, go get that 8-ball, Michael. It's okay.
The American Cancer Society having that flash up there made it feel important. And then the guy, despite seeming intelligent, you look up, he's full of shit because he can't believe what he's saying. He's just saying it. He's reading a script. We've shown that, the Sinclair thing. This is a threat to our democracy.
I have a whole collection of the scammy embedded advertisements. We've done that. It's almost boring now. When I see it happen, I'm like, do I show the people more proof of the nonsense, of the lies, of the So since it is New Year's, there are a lot of people that are making resolutions. Kevin, did you make any resolutions this year?
No.
And so you've already broken all of your resolutions then if you didn't make any.
No. Hold on.
But I have seen multiple articles this week of this female celebrity announcing that she's going to give up vaping, and another female celebrity announced there's a couple of them. I'm not going to name them, but for those of you that want to quit vaping, here's an article in the Tab about this is what actually happens to your body when you finally quit vaping. So things might start to get rough around day 3. And this is from the young lady, Lydia Spencer Elliott.
Yeah.
I don't So was she Lydia Spencer and then married somebody with the last name Elliott, or is it the other way around? I never figure out this hyphenation stuff. I don't know which when you hyphenate, which name is your maiden name and which one is your married name. I don't know.
Who knows?
So Fig says that he didn't make any resolutions, but he has committed to dry January. Well, if you wear an absorbent pad, it won't leak through.
In a raincoat.
Just
we could ruin that within the hour.
for those leakages, that'll keep you dry, I promise. So anyway, new year, new you, no vape. Welcome to the club. Vanessa Hudgens, that's one of the celebrities, is also a member of people who've literally had enough of extreme coughs and their pillows stinking of peach ice and strawberry cheesecake after a night out. Yep. As everyone enters their January resolution era, you might be determined that now is the time you're finally going to bin your Jewel/Elf bar/Lost Mary fruit flavor. I've never even heard of a Lost Mary fruit flavored device and not scuffle off to the shop for a replacement half an hour later.
Scuttle.
Well, this is British, it is the UK, so they use weird words over there. Their word for cigarette is fag. So their word for an eraser is a rubber. So their word for a jacket is a jumper.
Yeah.
So I don't. They got weird words over there, man. They can't even spell color right. They throw a U in there for some reason.
I know.
Or gray. They don't even spell gray right. But anyway, but in case you're wondering what symptoms the withdrawal side effects could have on your body, here's everything you need to know about giving up for good. Your heart rate goes back to normal within 20 minutes. The first half hour of abstinence is looking peachy, according to the experts that chatted with The Healthy. Your heart rate returns to a normal rate, your blood pressure goes down, and your circulation normalizes. Win-win-win after 20 minutes. So if you're only vaping like once every couple of hours, like during my work day, within a few minutes of me walking away to go treat a patient. My blood pressure is normal. My heart rate's normal. That sounds pretty okay.
So I can get up, go to the mailbox, come back, sit down, and everything will be fine in 20 minutes.
Well, depending on how far away your mailbox is, Kevin, at your age, you might increase your heart rate pretty substantially walking to the
very good point.
To the mailbox. I mean,
yeah.
You know, are you using your scooter, your hover round?
My little reach tool and everything.
Yeah. You know.
I wish Fig would send me some of his Depends, though. That anal leakage thing, you know.
Your nicotine withdrawal will kick in within a few hours. So you ought to, if you, this guy's an expert on vaping, but, or at least they're talking to people that are experts on vaping. I can go multiple hours without touching my vape, Kevin.
I've left it at
during
home.
the show. It doesn't look like it because I am constantly tooting on this thing while I'm here. But during the day, I go to the facility and see 3 or 4 patients. I'm in there for a couple hours sometimes.
Every cloud,
and I don't vape, and I'm not having any withdrawal after a few hours.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I bet you'd be ugly if you
then
did.
Come on the temporary symptoms. After between 4 and 24 hours of quitting, you'll get moody, anxious, and distracted. That's me.
That's just
with or without nicotine. Yeah.
Your poor wife.
The side effects of nicotine withdrawal can be uncomfortable, and the more you vape, the worse and more intense they will be. GP Dr. Hannah Patel tells The Tab. People who stop vaping will experience nicotine withdrawal symptoms, which such as feeling irritable, restless, and jittery. I'm obsessive compulsive and ADHD. I have that all the time anyway. They may experience headaches. When I hang out with stupid people, I get those. Have sweating symptoms. I don't know. Unless I'm exercising, I sweat. But feel anxious? No. Sad or down? No. Feel tired? Well, I am 50.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Pay attention.
Have trouble thinking clearly or concentrating.
End quote.
Because I'm always using nicotine, which helps keep me thinking clearly and concentrating well. And then I take my nicotine away. I could see that. Have trouble sleeping? No. I lay down. I'm going to sleep. I could drink like an entire pot of coffee and go lay down and fall asleep. May feel hungry and experience intense cravings to vape again.
Yeah, maybe.
All in all, you'll be 10 of 10 delight. You'll be a 10 of 10 delight to be around.
Now, Patrick, I'm going to interrupt you.
People enjoy hanging out with me.
According to this person, if you quit vaping, you will be a delight to be around. And I want to test that freaking theory. I have my doubts.
I mean, I think
no,
that's probably sarcasm there, Kevin.
No,
I mean, really. I mean, I know it's British. Yep. I know it's dry British humor. But I'm not a delight to be around, whether I have nicotine or not.
Duly noted.
So it says here, your risk of heart disease drops in a day, according to Nikola Georgievic, project manager of Med Alert Help. A day after dropping your Juul, your risk of heart disease will have significantly lessened in less than 24 hours, thanks to your blood pressure going down and your oxygen levels rising. Additionally, your cholesterol levels decreasing will mean you've got what?
Right.
So if you quit vaping, your cholesterol level drops.
Here's what I'm thinking. We're going to add in the word cholesterol and blood clot.
I actually need a scientific basis for this.
You know you don't when you write it. It's okay. You can say anything you want.
No, they're quoting a project manager of a medical alert thing with this nonsense. Your cholesterol levels decreasing will mean what?
Well, It is just your Juul now, Patrick. It says if you're after you're dropping your Juul.
All right. We got to find somebody that works for the company that makes Juul, because I want to see the nutritional information on the Juul, because if you're getting cholesterol from there, you have to be eating that shit. And I want to know where
I think the kids are eating it.
Well, I mean, obviously they're getting cervical cancer, so they're sticking it somewhere.
Well,
after 2 days without vaping, you may notice your sense of smell and taste are back to optimal levels. Basically, vaping can lead to dehydration, which makes your mouth dry, so it's harder to taste. That's not a lie, by the way. That's why we tell everybody to hydrate, drink water.
Yeah, it happens.
But I tell that to everyone.
Well, yeah.
Drink plenty of water.
You see what that says? Caffeination and hydration are the same.
So nicotine has entirely left your body by the 3rd day. Day 3, and you're nearly out of fruity smoke's grasp.
It's not smoke.
What
if I'm using tobacco?
Is that like a gay bar in London?
Is he referring to the earlier kid from OSU?
I don't get it. According to experts, is also when withdrawal levels peak. People usually report that the first week, especially the 3rd to the 5th day after giving up vaping, are the worst, that they experience these withdrawal symptoms, confirmed Dr. Patel. I know I'm saying that name right. I dated a girl named Asha Patel one time. She was really hot.
And she ran
not even
very
joking.
fast.
No. She was an animal. But her family owned hotels.
Yeah.
So make sure you're prepared for those headaches, cramps, and cravings. It sounds like somebody's having their period.
I just don't want to have cravings clawing and choking me. I would rather vape. Thank you.
This is the danger zone. Your lung capacity improves after a month, Kevin.
No,
if you manage to make it through the cravings, clawing you back into the chokehold of your elf bar, after 1 month, you'll notice your lung capacity starts to get way better, meaning you can breathe easier, experience less coughing, and won't feel on the brink of collapse every time you run for the bus.
Well, I appreciate you giving all this scientific information, Patrick, because we're going to be clawing, and then the capacity and the sounding like it's, exactly, bastard.
Yeah,
exactly.
I quit vaping 6 months. I felt like I could inhale. 2, I worked out longer and harder. 3, my appetite returned and died. Getting anxious and controlled by short-term needs. 6, I was more calm and focused. 7, I quit energy drinks.
All right. I'm just stopping that shit right there. Yeah, no, not true.
Now it's 9
Your
months.
lung health improves after 9 months, Kevin. If you manage to keep your sanity in the smoking area on a Saturday night for a whole 9 months, then your body will actually be able to fight lung infections again by month 9. And according to Dr. Patel, after 20 years vape-free, the risk of death from 20 years, Charlie said 10 years after smoking. So vaping is 2 times as bad, because it takes 20 years for your lungs to return to normal after you vaped. The risk of death from smoking-related causes include both lung disease and cancer drops to the level of a person who has never smoked in their life.
Hey, Glance, this is Dr. Patel. What is exactly you wanted to say in this article before I get it all written up and typed up and submitted? Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, we have shown information on this show that says that after 10 years smoke-free, your risk for cancer is the same as a non-smoker. But they're saying 20 years for your vaping lungs to return to a pre-vaping situation.
Wow. Thank God there's related stories recommended, because I like fiction and all.
So, as already mentioned, your vape withdrawal could start anywhere between 4 and 24 hours after chucking out your emotional support stick. But after that horrendous peak on day 3, the symptoms will gradually go down until you're in the clear. And around 3 to 4 weeks, you will start now. If you start now, you could be in the clear before they've crowned the winner of Winter Love Island. I have no idea what that is, Kevin.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
But I thought nicotine was as addictive as heroin, Kevin.
Well, after a couple of days, you won't notice it so much when you get through that horrendous part.
I know people that have been in treatment for those substances, and this guy makes it seem like it's just so easy to quit. But all of the other experts say that it's
heroin, cocaine
than heroin and cocaine. So
Jerry said that himself. I've shared the Victor's share screen for a reason. I posted this the other day. Here's your New Year's resolutions. Exercise. Well, nah, fuck that. Lose weight. No. Quit smoking. Get organized. Learn a hobby. Save more money. Spend less money. Spend more time with your family and friends. I debated on crossing that out, actually. But what I really want... Puddles. What I really want you to do is live your life now in 2023. I don't give a shit about your wants and needs or your wants and needs. Do that. That's what I want you to do. I want you to live your life and be well. That's it. That's what I hope you do. There you go. There you go.
I'm kind of worried about Cerny or Puddles.
Don't be.
She says that she has a very complicated relationship with pickles. Are they the big deal kind,
salty, or
the little mini one? I mean, the gherkins. I mean, I need to know. Yeah,
Studies show writing shitty articles can get you a spot on this show.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta go where the stories take us, Kevin.
Well, Skip got published, so I don't. Can anybody tell me if you're in that world? Chug is not here. If you're in that world, tell me that consumers barely ever, if ever, get published in any way, shape, or form. I'm still stunned.
Well, I'm stunned that it was in the journal that it was in. That's the one that's throwing me off.
It's all right.
Yeah. So I mean,
live your life. That's what I want you to do. Hashtag live your life. I know you're looking.
No, I was just looking at something.
Victor share
screen. There's nothing on the Victor share screen.
No, I'm just saying we don't use it enough. Crash and bot and do all that. But that's okay.
Yeah, but
retractions.
Retractions.
I'm just reminiscing. That's all.
That's a good song. I like that song.
Oh.
I'm pre-rubbing over here.
Okay.
I'm pre-rubbing.
That's why we can't see your hands.
Well. Wow. Oh, I got a story. So, we had a frost here. We'll take a break from the nonsense here for a minute.
Yeah.
So I came home from work the day before yesterday. Now we had a really bad frost here a couple weeks ago. We had to bring all the plants in, but we had this quite large banana tree in the backyard. And the banana tree did not handle the frost very well.
You can eat bananas in Texas?
Yeah, we can grow them here too.
Oh man.
So I come home and the wife says, "Oh, look in the backyard. I chopped down the banana tree."
Ooh.
So I go and there's this massive pile of brush from the banana tree. No, it's an actual banana tree. Not a euphemism. So I'm like, why didn't you bag up your mess?
That's what she's got you for.
So she says, it's got to dry. I said, that tree is burnt. Like the leaves are already as dry. They weren't green anymore. They were black.
Yeah.
So she said, well, I couldn't find anything to hack at it. I was like, well, how did you chop it down? She said, oh, I used one of the butcher knives from the kitchen.
Yeah. And you had an aneurysm. You're having one now.
Which of the very expensive butcher knives did you use?
Oh, you're making me giggle.
So she pulls out the cleaver, and
Yeah.
I'm like, did you look at? I said, look at this knife, and you could see the chips in the fucking knife. I was like, this is a $400 butcher knife that you just destroyed. She said, how could cutting a banana? I was like, because that is a butcher knife. It's a softer steel than what you would use to cut a tree down with.
Why didn't you tell her that? You should have told her that to begin with. Look.
So I come into the office. And I come out with the trusty machete.
Right.
And I'm like,
do you allow her to do that?
I said, go into the garage and get some garbage bags right now.
Oh, now you're scolding her. Oh.
She said, where did you get that? And why is it in your office? I said, because you're not trustworthy enough to use it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she's going to use that machete knife on you.
No. So she goes in, and I'm out there just hacking the shit out of it, because the trunk of the banana tree was like this big around. Like it was a nice. She's like, why are you keeping that in the house, in your office? I said, so that you don't chop your damn foot off.
Trying to kill me.
No. Literally, I love my wife, but she's I cannot watch her prepare vegetables and stuff. She is so clumsy with a knife. She actually cut the tip of her thumb off.
Oh, Jenny.
With a knife in my kitchen. And I'm like, so every time I want her to leave the kitchen, I pull out the fillet knife that she used to slice the top of her thumb off with.
Yeah.
Because she will leave the kitchen the moment she
sees you love her
knife.
And you care.
I was like, that's why you can't touch the machete. Next time you tell me what you want to do and I will take care of it.
I think you should stop being angry with your wife, because it raises your blood pressure and that's not good for you. And I care about you. And I want you to be healthy.
I said, now I have to go and grind like a quarter of an inch off of that fucking, not a quarter.
Oh, so it's
30,
fixable in your bedroom.
32nd of an inch off of that fucking butcher knife. It's a meat cleaver. E-liquid exposure induces bladder cancer cells to release extracellular vesicles that promote non-malignant urothelial cell transformation, Kevin.
Ooh, vesicles.
I must implore every one of you, do not be vaping in your hoo-hoo. Because it's going to cause your body to do some weird things and make non-malignant urothelial cells.
I'm just wondering how far down the mouse is going to be. They're elusive little bastards.
The vaping of electronic cigarettes has recently emerged as a popular alternative to traditional cigarette smoking, but its association with bladder cancer risk remains to be established. Do you see what they just said there?
Yeah, we really don't know, and we don't have any
remains
proof,
to be established.
Anyway. That means
That means we have not established that there's any link whatsoever between vaping and bladder cancer, but we're gonna try to sell you on this idea. BC patients bladder cancer patients exhibit high rates of recurrent diseases, possibly as a consequence of the field cancerization effect. Cancerization effect, Kevin. We have shown that bladder cancer-derived extracellular vesicles can permanently alter recipient urothelial cells in predisposed fields such that they become fully transformed malignant cells. So somehow your non-malignant cells become malignant cells. So
I'm not even smart enough to understand this, and I know better.
So if you vape and you have bladder cancer, your non-malignant cells will become malignant cells.
Huh.
To model the role that BC bladder cancer EVs.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what happened there, Kevin. My screen went blank. Did your screen go blank?
You bought it on me, but I thought it was me automatically. Every time I lose you, anytime it doesn't.
No,
matter.
all three of everything went like this. They had a little wheel for like a second.
It's probably the FDA. Good night, Figgy.
Yeah. Bye. Anyway.
Janine said, "Uh-oh, Putin did it."
Are we still roboting now, Steve?
Not that I can tell. Get to the mouse. Come on.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Mr. Oh.
I love that. Oh, I saw this. So there's a really cool YouTube show, and it's Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates, right? He has a restaurant somewhere, and he has a show on MTV where he brings other artists in, and they do they play with his band in the middle of his restaurant. They play like famous songs from Hall & Oates and from the visiting artist, and they recently had Cheap Trick on there. I'm a huge Cheap Trick fan. I don't know why I went off into that tangent for a second, but anyway, Cheap Trick's awesome. And Daryl Hall is pretty awesome too. But anyway, let's go back to this art. Those treated BCEVs were then tested for their tumorigenic potential. We found that these smoking and e-cigarette related bladder cancer urothelial vesicles were able to promote oxidative stress, inflammatory signaling, and DNA damage in recipient urothelial cells. Striking menthol e-cigarettes significantly increased rates of malignant urothelial transformation, while further in vivo validation of the simultaneous effects of e-liquid and e-liquid on-field cancerization is needed.
Aren't you skewing the results when you use cigarette smoke and e-cigarette vape? Doesn't that automatically?
Kind of, but I just only reason I'm urging people that vape, do not vape in your hoo-hoo, because this is causing problems in your bladder. Just don't do it.
All I know is you're gonna have a hard time peeing. It's
What is this?
Wow. Yeah, we started off good with Skip, and then you just kind of.
I don't know, my wife just sent me an image of a. Oh.
Is she hacking something else?
No. Some.
She said, "Where's my knife?"
One of the kids, the babies is being baptized or whatever. I'm guessing. What is the date of this? Oh, it's January 31st. Okay. Oh, and they're having it at the Golden Corral.
Ooh.
This is Texas.
I like the Golden Corral.
Well, I'll go to this because remember I told you the only two things I got for Christmas were a flannel shirt and a smoked fish.
Yes.
The guy that this is the child of and apparently I have been named a godparent.
No.
So
Paul's in the room. Can you? We've had the Skip and the Fig, and now with a Paul.
Yeah.
Janine's here. We like Janine.
Yeah. So the guy that gave me the smoked salmon, is his kid. So I have to go. All right.
There you go. Will you be in a good mood though? That's
sure. Golden Corral. It's all you can eat. I mean, come on.
Oh,
it's Golden Corral. Come on.
Right.
All right. I don't. I mean, Skip is like sending a link in the fucking chat. She knows that I can't click on links in the chat. But I mean,
you can copy paste and get it.
No, I can't. I can't click. I can click. If I click on it, it goes on the screen. You moron. I can't cut and paste it because if I click on it, it's on the screen.
I can copy paste it.
Well, I know you could. No, you can't. Actually,
yes, I can.
No, you have to go. You have to go to the YouTube, I think. But I think I can do that too.
Highlighting it in my chat right now.
Oh, that's right, because you don't have the power to click shit and throw it on screen.
That's right. I have no power.
That's right.
Look at her.
Because I have all the power.
Look at her crankiness.
But this is probably a link to the study about
Twitter. What is Twitter?
About harm reduction being a human right that I tweeted like 11 months ago. Remember when I did the tweet about the pillars of Kevin the power. Kevin shall not have power. No power for Kevin.
For the record, I haven't been muted in quite a long time. Purposely.
I have never muted you.
Yeah, fuck, you haven't. Yes,
maybe once as a joke, but I have never.
Once. I've rambled on for 3 minutes before I even knew I was muted.
So now Kim is admitting that she's written 2 op-eds now based on my tweets.
Well, there you go. You inspire her.
Dude, I have 5 monitors in this fucking office. Steve's like, you should get a second screen. I have a second screen. It's right there. I have a third screen right there. Look. Beep. There's another one.
Look.
And there's 2 on that desk right there. Right?
And not one picture of me on that wall. Not one.
Why would I ever have a picture of you?
Oh, my goodness. Ugh.
No, in StreamYard, I have no ability to click on any links. I can't cut and paste. I can't highlight shit. Yeah, I believe you. I believe you, Kim.
You're just cruising, ain't you?
I believe you.
Go to the next meeting she's at. That's all I'm saying.
I can't copy and paste it. It's from this. I'm using an application to web stream, Steve. The chat is part of the app.
Everybody email Patrick where you want to go. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I made a shirt. You know what? If Kim wants to have if Kim wants to have dart material, I will release the I don't like you very much t-shirt again and send one to Kim, and then she can wear it and everybody can throw darts at Kevin.
That's right. Just gotta keep going, don't you? Just poking the bear.
Oh.
It'll be all right.
So a while ago we talked about EVALI and somebody being granted lots of money to research EVALI, right? The American, right. So look, here's another one. This is from the UNC School of Medicine.
Yeah.
They have just been granted a lot of money. UNC researchers tackled the e-cigarette or vaping product use associated lung injury epidemic. January 3rd of 2023. And there hasn't been a case of EVALI in 2 years.
So narratives are very profitable.
There's an epidemic.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a current active epidemic, and it must be tackled. It must be tackled right now.
Isn't it odd that 2 chuckleheads, sometimes 3 in Fig's case when he was here, can figure this out in 8.4 seconds, and they need money to do this? I'm amazed.
All right. So let me go over here to Google for a minute. Okay, what is the population of America?
Fred. Did you see Fred sneaking in?
He's been in here for a while.
I can only operate one screen at a time.
Let's see, what is the current population of America? So 334,233,854 people.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's like 700 million students that are vaping.
Wait. I gotta get this. I gotta pull my calculator out here. I gotta gundulate some numbers here. Let's see. 334,233,854 times 0.01. So according to their numbers, all right. Okay, I just wanted to. Okay, so this is here. Oh no, I did that wrong. Sorry, I got to redo that. I miscalculated. See, this is what happens. Math is not my deal. 0.2 equals. All right. This is a much different number. Much different number, Kevin. They're saying 1 in 20.
Yep,
is what it says here, which is what percentage would you say that is, Kevin?
5.
That's 5%.
Am I right?
5% is correct.
What do I win?
Nothing. You get a raise. From nothing to nothing times 2.
I get extra then. Good. I'm going to look for it this week.
All right.
5%.
All right. So, according to their calculation, if roughly 1 in every 20 Americans use electronic cigarettes, according to their current numbers,
including children.
Yes, including children. There is somewhere around 16,711,692.7 current active users of electronic cigarettes in the United States.
Actively, allegedly.
Now, if I go over here and say population of Americans.
Hey, I win a box of steak knives.
Under 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know how many people there are under 18.
0 to 17, right?
That's no, I need a number. I don't need a percentage, assholes. Oh, okay.
A random number is 8.
Oh, thank you, Alexa. I called her an asshole and she answered.
Do you also have Alexa now alerting you to any cleaver usage in the kitchen?
No, I've hidden them. I've hidden them.
Liana's come in.
Yeah.
Liana.
So okay. So if there's 73 million Americans, 1 in 5 of those are under 18.
1 in 5. That's 20%.
Okay,
right?
So the current population is 334,000.
Yeah.
Remember 16.7 million, right? Remember that.
Okay, I'll write it down.
Yeah, because I can't remember that.
Got it.
Okay.
I didn't know there was going to be work.
Okay, so according to this, there are 66,846,770 kids or people under the age of 18, right?
Yeah.
Now, according to the nonsense that we read earlier in, what percentage of kids vape? What did they say? 5%.
No, 20.
Oh, they say 20% of kids vape?
I thought it's been 20 for a while.
No. All right. We got to do some more task-oriented math here, Kevin.
How many kids vape? Alleged. One in 10.
1 in 10. Okay. So, all right. So let's see. So 1 in 10 is, again, 10%.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. What do I win?
Okay. So they're saying 6,600,000. Okay. So what was that that number I told you to write down?
16.7.
Okay, so that's easy. So if you subtract the 6,600,000 there, yeah, that's the number. They're saying that 6 million kids vape.
There you go.
All right. So if you subtract the 6 million kids that vape, well, it's actually 6.6, but we only had 16.6 or 16.7. So that still says that 10 million adults vape, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you subtract the kiddies from the total number.
Yeah.
So that number has been pretty static since 2016. I just wanted to do the numbers here. So anyway, roughly 1 in every 20 Americans use electronic cigarettes, with many being middle and high school students. There has been an uptick in e-cigarette use over the years as some adults have turned to products to quit smoking, and many adolescents are attracted to fun flavors. So I have to ask, if they're saying that adults are attracted to vaping to help themselves quit smoking, but kids could only be attracted to vaping because of the flavors.
Well, no, it's the nicotine. No, I'm sorry. No, it's the flavors. Oh, no, wait, no, it's the advertising. No, wait, no, it's the flavors. No, wait, no, it's the nicotine.
So, but obviously none of those kids could be turning to vaping to stop smoking.
I've discussed this 1,000 times. At what age?
It's right there in black and white, Kevin. Though I'm just saying.
I've asked the question 20,000 times on
if
Twitter.
Adults vape to quit smoking,
correct.
Why is it so hard to believe that kids could start vaping to not smoke?
And if it's a less harmful alternative, why are we saying kids shouldn't, aren't supposed to? Well, that's because of the lore.
The lore.
Social engineering.
Well,
they shouldn't smoke either, right? So,
well, the kids shouldn't do a lot of things that they do. I mean, they shouldn't backtalk it to adults. They shouldn't
exactly.
They shouldn't be groomed to be sexual before it's appropriate. They shouldn't be. There's a lot of things.
We've gone through this.
They should be allowed to be kids.
I started smoking at 9. What age are you considered a smoker if you smoke cigarettes? If you are a person who smokes?
Well,
you got to be 18 before that's a thing.
So you're not allowed to quit smoking until you're 21, Kevin.
That is correct, because
Yes.
they've banned, restricted, and taxed, and that pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah. So anyway, although doctors and researchers sympathize with smokers wanting to quit smoking, scientists are discovering that vaping might not be a healthier alternative to smoking, especially in adolescents. E-cigarette products have been linked to a new serious drug condition known as e-cigarette vaping product use associated lung injury, or EVALI, with popular effects among youth and young adults. In 2019, the illness was declared an epidemic by the CDC.
Whoa.
What?
See, this is all in the wording. EVALI was declared an epidemic, or vaping was declared an epidemic?
Both.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But they don't actually know what the word epidemic means.
Right, which neither did Jerry.
They have no. Apparently, they have no static definition of the word, and can just use it as a fear word to trigger
the word
people.
addiction. The word addiction is the exact same thing.
I actually need to. I despise that in the last decade, maybe, that the word trigger has even people started using the word trigger and microaggression. If that was the case, and words could set me off and could justify me being a dick, then I should use that defense all the time, because stupid words, people's stupidity trigger me.
Well, yeah.
And therefore I am justified in my microaggressions.
Correct. I'll justify it.
Yes. And words are violence, Kevin. Anyway. At its core, EVALI is a serious disease that primarily affects the lungs and results in a substantial number of hospitalizations and deaths in a relatively young and otherwise healthy population across the United States, said Megan Rabuli, PhD assistant professor in the Department of Pediatrics in the UNC School of Medicine. This epidemic is largely caused by unregulated and quickly evolving nature of the e-cigarette industry, and certainly highlights the need for continued action by both researchers and government agencies.
So we're still in present tense. Okay, good. I got you.
Present tense, and they're talking about e-cigarettes, blah, blah, blah. In 2021, Rabuli co-led a virtual workshop which brought together pulmonologists, public health officials, epidemiologists, and toxicologists from around the country to discuss their latest research findings and recommendations in the wake of the epidemic. In a report with in the anal.
This is a rehash.
Yeah, it is.
It's a rehash. Yeah,
but they've been granted. It starts out as a rehash of that nonsense that we talked about earlier, but it talks about their new research project. And it doesn't even bring down. So nailing down the causative agents.
How much?
At the heart of the workshop was a discussion about the chemical components of e-cigarettes. Early in the epidemic, the CDC took e-cigarette samples to identify THC, vitamin E acetate, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Here's another we're full of shit article.
But they're getting paid money to be full of shit.
Oh, my God.
So, like I said, you and I need to do a grant proposal so that we can cash in on this nonsense.
How many vape through your hoo-ha?
Oh, we missed one. I knew we missed one there because this one is very important. So, Kevin, did you know that their Big Pharma has put out a new medicine to help you quit vaping?
Wait. They're not going to give you a patch or some gum or some lozenges or some inhalers? Really?
No. This is a new one. Wait, I'm waiting for the ad to stop here.
But wait, there's more.
There we go.
I'm botting or you're botting.
So here we go. Rub it. All right.
Yeah, breakthroughs.
According to the National Institutes of Health, more than 5.6 million American adults
You have sound?
using an electronic device to inhale nicotine and flavored vapors. And much like cigarette smoking, vaping may become a habit that is tough to quit.
Michael Werner was a college student when he started vaping almost every hour.
I would sometimes hit it in the middle of the night if I happened to wake up.
Werner found himself quickly addicted to the nicotine, but hated how vaping made him feel.
It makes it hard to really fully be in the moment unless you're using your device in that moment.
Dr. Nancy Rigotti is the director of the Tobacco Research and Treatment Unit at Mass General Hospital. After years of tobacco use being on the decline,
Masshole.
1 in 10 young adults aged 18 to 24 now vape.
Some of them are able to quit, but a lot of them are having trouble.
Dr. Rigotti and her colleagues use text messaging, behavioral counseling, and medications to help young people quit nicotine. Now they're testing a medicine called cetirizine.
Cetirizine. Does that name sound slightly familiar?
No.
I can't even say it. You'll
Cysteine? I don't know.
Maybe.
The drug itself is similar smoking cessation medicines that's called varenicline or Chantix.
Varenicline or Chantix.
Cetirizine is to block the rush of nicotine and reduce withdrawal symptoms. Michael Werner finally quit by weaning himself.
Oh, really? A model that we created that will allow particular people to wean themselves by using less nicotine over time.
Do you suffer from learned helplessness?
Let's release a medicine.
Yeah.
Let's introduce a similar product here to a dangerous drug that we had to pull off the market because by the way, it causes cancer.
He works now as a clinical research coordinator helping others kick the nicotine habit.
I've spoken with a lot of folks who are in recovery from drugs and alcohol, and they will tell me,
dude, trim that shit, man.
He looks familiar for some reason. I don't know if they've rehashed this again.
He looks like every vape bro. All he needs is a fucking flat bill cap. He looks like every other vape bro in the fucking that we know.
Okay. Time again.
Wait a minute.
This is the hardest to quit.
Researchers are hoping after clinical trials.
What did that piece of shit just say?
Researchers are hoping after
drug to quit.
Researchers are hoping after clinical trials they'll have one more option for vapors trying to quit.
Look how unhappy them
Side
fuckers
effects include some nausea, headaches, and dreams. But
don't overtalk the side effects, Kevin.
effects include some nausea, headaches, vivid dreams. Most people who have tolerated it.
Most people who have taken it have tolerated it, Kevin, with the vivid nightmares. That all seem quite similar to other side effects from other drugs that were also unsuccessful at getting people to quit smoking. But let's make a pill similar to Chantix, which we had to pull from the market because it caused cancer, and also made people commit suicide.
I have where they tested children, both here and in the UK, and the Chantix didn't work. Children, underage children.
Yes, no.
But
children, a step up from lab rats or lab kids, just.
But wait a minute, Patrick. We
just donate your unruly child to science.
I just asked the question: at what age is a smoker a smoker? If they're underage, or they can't be a smoker until they're 21 now.
No, they're a smoker. They're just bad, Kevin. They're just evil children.
Oh, there you go. unruly, incorrigible.
And should they're not responsible for their actions, Kevin.
Well, Karen certainly isn't. Or Aaron, or what? Paul, why are you looking at Greg's pecker again?
That's what I want to know. I saw him type that shit, but I wasn't going to point it out because that's kind of twisted. I know those Aussies are, they can't be particular because they are a prison colony, and most prisons are mostly dudes. So,
Well, he hasn't called me that special name in a while, so I figured I'd give him a lead in.
I'm just kind of concerned, but not really. I mean, as long as he's legal to do whatever he wants, as long as he does it with a consenting adult.
That's right.
No problem.
We don't care.
Whatever makes you happy. I did get myself something nice for Christmas though, Kevin. I got myself a classic Jim Steranko cover art piece of adaptation of the film Blade Runner. Jim Steranko is a great artist.
It's beautiful work.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's in mint condition. It's in really nice condition. So nice. Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
there's a scene where what's his name? Harrison Ford is hunting this female replicant who was she was posing as an exotic dancer, and she's wearing a some sort of like bikini top sort of thing with a transparent raincoat and these really high knee boots. It's Joanna Cassidy is the actress's name, and she's running, and he starts shooting at her, and she runs through these plate glass windows. It's really, really cool scene. Love that film. And then obviously a young Daryl Hannah doing some S&M acrobatics and kicking Harrison Ford's arse, which is quite good. It's a good movie. I will not testify to the awesomeness of the second Blade Runner movie. It's actually not horrible. But you can tell that Harrison Ford is not playing the same character that he played earlier. Sort of becomes sort of the gruff Harrison Ford generic character that he plays in everything. But it is what it is. Well, Kevin, we covered all of our articles. Everything.
Quite a first week.
Yes. I mean, there is obviously some things that happened this week that we're not going to talk about.
Oh, good.
Because I will not do that.
Good.
I have no interest in covering that stuff. So we're not going to talk about that. I have no problem dragging our enemies through the mud. I will draw the line at drawing our friends through the mud. Even if we do or do not agree with choices that those people make, I'm not doing it. Now, obviously, if you go after me, that's a different story. I will drag your ass through the mud, and I will do it better than you. But yeah, I'm not doing that. So there's no point. I mean, our job is to uplift each other, to pull each other up as much as possible. And any of that nonsense that's occurring, it's going to occur. It's going to occur. But that doesn't mean that Kevin or I have to be a party of it. We're not gonna. So that just stays on. I didn't even know that Grim Green had harmed his hand, had broken his hand. Because I'm a physical therapist. I could teach him how to fix his hand, but That's not the nonsense that we're talking about, but that is just something else that just happened. I did speak to Dimitri this week.
Yeah.
I did see Dimitri this week, and he just was updating me on what's going on. He's currently back in Greece, and essentially is just going to stay there. He's expanding Anakin and Liquid Puff, his brand, all over the EU. He's like a virus in the EU. He's just everywhere.
Good.
And he's working with Dash Vapes out of Canada to take them into the EU as well. So, I told him, I said I hadn't spoken to him in months. I said, I've sort of been staying out of your way because you look really busy. So
yeah,
I haven't been messing with you.
Live your life.
Yeah, dude. I feel kind of bad when our current government is chasing our business away. America is going to be a wasteland soon. I mean, everybody seems to be, I don't want to say abandoning America, but it does seem like a lot of companies are doing what they have to do to stay open here, or to at least make money here, is to send all of their shit over to the EU. They're moving their fucking production to the EU. A lot of them are contracting with labs in the EU to do that. I mean, it's sad, but
it is.
Anywho,
Just
yeah,
to watch.
You got to do what you got to do to feed yourselves, but it does suck that we're going backwards here and everybody else is moving forward. And that's what it looks like. In a lot of cases, it just looks like America's regressing, and other countries all over the world are finally opening their eyes, and they're not standing in the way of innovation, and they're thinking that maybe it's a good idea to help these smokers quit smoking. So seems odd, but
it's backwards.
Did you see that last my mom called me. My mom called me the other night. She's like, "Turn on your TV to the football game," and I'm like, "What? Wait, well, she's like, what? This guy's having a heart attack on the field, and they're doing CPR on him for 10 minutes, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah,
didn't see it. Saw about it.
I didn't see it live when it happened, but I saw some replays, and that that didn't even look like a super strong hit or anything. It just looked like a normal tackle. And the guy got up, like looked like he was trying to take a step, and next thing you know, boom, collapsed.
And Dale Earnhardt hit a wall no differently than any other card hit a wall.
Well, yeah, he didn't hit it very hard, but he just hit it at just the right angle to snap his neck.
Yeah. I'm glad he's okay so far. I saw today.
Yeah, but he's done for the season for sure.
Yeah,
I can't imagine a football team saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to let you play again this year."
I see that Cincinnati. A friend of mine was at the game. I guess is the gist of his post, and then he put something today that Cincinnati. I didn't know they had the sign out. It's now in blue, so that was kind of cool that there's some camaraderie going on there. I don't know anything else about they're in or out of the playoffs and all the weird stuff that I was trying to ignore.
Well, I think
that
game.
Much,
I think that game is just going to be chalked up to it did not end. I don't know that they're going to be able to
draw or something.
If they're going to start over, or are they going to just play again a whole new game? But yeah, I mean, just the idea, obviously. Football players are considered athletes, right? But I mean, some of these athletes are not the most healthiest people in the world.
Right.
They might be strong, they might be big, but they're not I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're eating the right things, and
it doesn't constitute perfectly healthy.
No, that doesn't mean that these are these are perfect
big
physical
boys.
specimens or anything.
There's a few that are.
I mean,
sure.
no, I mean, obviously there are some really good, healthy athletes, but some of these guys, these linemen are huge. I mean, and most of them they're not all not. I mean, lots of them have guts, and they're
yeah,
big fellas. I mean, the wide receivers.
Remember Refrigerator Perry?
Yeah, that guy.
He was
strong, big guy.
He was a big motherfucker.
They eat a side of beef every day. These guys are packing on the calories, and they're not looking at their cholesterol, and so hopefully, But yeah, he's probably they're going to have to put some wires in his heart and probably a pacer and all sorts of stuff to make sure that it doesn't do that shit again. So I feel bad, but I did see the one thing I had to scratch my head is I saw a GoFundMe had raised like $5 million in this guy's name. And I'm like, he's a professional ball player. His hospital bills are being paid by the team. I mean, he got injured at work.
Was that for him or was that for the charity? Because I heard people.
Well, I saw his name on it. I didn't read any further, but I saw a GoFundMe with that guy's name on it. I'm like, I mean, most people that I know that get GoFundMes are doing it for, hospital bills or unexpected. But I'm like, he got hurt playing an NFL ball game. His medical expenses are being paid. Now,
I'm thinking they do. I don't know.
And I'm sure he has a contractual payout because he got injured while playing the game. So he's not going to be hurting for money.
Right.
So I do hope that you're right and the GoFundMe is for charity because he's not going to need the money.
First of all, I hope he lives.
I mean, yeah, he'll never play pro ball again, but he has a contract buyout. He's probably going to get like a $10 million payout because of the injury at work,
Yeah.
So
crazy.
And yes, and Fred's right. I'm sure he has insurance as well. I'm hoping that the $5 million that was collected goes to charity because he's not going to need the money.
Well, there was a toy drive or something that I did see and I read because I thought it was interesting that he had done a toy drive, and it had like 5,000 or some piddling amount, and then it went to quite a bit. But I don't know if that was the same GoFundMe or not. I didn't go that far.
This one was definitely started because of the incident.
Wow.
Because they were sharing it on like all sorts of shit. So
and somebody's going to use his name.
That guy doesn't need your money.
Good Lord.
I mean, yeah, go ahead and donate money to charity if that's the case. But you should be doing that shit whether that guy had, his heart stopped on the field or not. I mean,
right. It's strange what collects people together sometimes.
Well,
it really does.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of non-professional athletes that are homeless that are down at the corner over there that that a vast majority of them probably need some sort of help. You know what I'm saying? They probably need some treatments. They probably need, some warm food and a place, and a blanket.
A kind word and a friendly smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Fred's got the right idea. Donate to breast cancer research. Yes, let's save all the boobies because those are important. We
save the tatas.
But yes, I mean,
do that every year.
It's always people will jump up to donate money to some celebrity to help them reach some goal, but the guy over there panhandling or the guy at the homeless shelter that are the soup kitchen is begging for people to come and volunteer, is begging for people to buy them groceries so that they can feed those people that are on the street that really need your help.
Compassion.
So yeah, I will climb off of my soapbox now.
Be kinder than necessary, my brother had said once.
Be kinder than me.
Well, fuck, everybody is. In the back of my mind, I think you're sweeter than you act, but that's just me.
I might actually be, and I might actually admit it, but I'm going to be grumpy when when I'm being kind, I'm going to be grumpy.
Well, I've had my fill of being nice to you on a couple times.
Fuck you. Oh, what? I did see that there was some new terms of service on the YouTubes, you could lose your channel or your monetization if you use foul language within the first like 5 minutes of the show. And I'm like, oh, well, it's a good thing we're not monetized.
I know what my goal is next week.
My goal is to get 1,000 followers on the channel so that we can get monetized, so that I can do a video the next week with fuck in the first 5 seconds of the video, so that we can be demonetized.
That's right.
I want to be the first vaping channel to be demonetized for profanity. That's an achievable goal, Kevin, but
it is.
First we have to get more than 1,000 followers on the channel.
See, that's the unachievable part of the achievable goal.
I don't think we would need another 800 subscribers.
890.
No, we're at 192 right now. We actually have 192 subscribers, but we would have to get 808 followers.
Well, where the hell are all my bots? What's going on?
All these tobacco, these vape bots should be signing up on YouTube to get us to the 1,000 subscribers mark. So that we could get demonetized, because I'm really I want to be the first to get demonetized. I mean, there's other guys that have gotten demonetized, but I want to be the first to get demonetized for foul language.
For the new rule, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Wait a minute, there's a rule. Let's break it.
I like breaking rules, except for the don't show products with product links on there. But even though our friends at 5 Ponds are not going to back us another year, we still love their product.
I'm not showing their link.
There's no link on here. I double checked. But
good night, Liana.
We love those guys. But anyway, Kevin, how do you want to say goodnight to your friends? You may have one friend in the chat room. Your friend.
I think there's one. I'm going to end with my brother's words. Be kinder than necessary is a suggestion.
Yeah,
that's it.
And I mean, obviously, I was kind of down there. We did an article that essentially proved that research is, peer review. The peer reviewed system is flawed, and basically, it blows that it's so corrupt that the peer reviewed system is so awful that people are bringing their bias into the review system, and that we're getting awful peer reviewed studies that have to be retracted, and
confirmation bias.
3 years after the EVALI outbreak, we're seeing the announcements of researchers getting grants to research the EVALI epidemic, when there's absolutely not been a single case in 2 years, and they're still trying to tie it into e-cigarette vaping, and only bringing up THC and vitamin E acetate as an afterthought in the fine print, or halfway buried throughout the article. So, it's ridiculous. But anyway, we love you guys. We will see you in 7 days. Let's end tonight with something funny. Let's see, who do we have here? Charlie's really our only funny one. So let's end with Charlie.
Hello, let me just say I don't like either of you.
Well, that's understandable.